Hello friends, welcome to your channel Market Update. I hope you and your family are doing great during this pandemic. So today's video is going to on two shares, Infosys and Irfc. Both of these shares has already provided the recent dividend. So everyone has questions like few of them get the dividend. Infosys provided the dividend on 26th of October while Irfc has provided the dividend. So the ex date was 10th of November. Well, few people received the dividend of IRFC, but and few are still waiting. So no need to worry. You will receive it really soon, because sometime it takes up to 15 days for a dividend to credit into the account. So let's start this video with Infosys. Front page we can clearly see the momentum of 2.71%. Within a week, it's still 2.86%, and within a month it's 2.21%. Within a year 58.42. So this time, like we had seen the market, most of the share was crashed, and now is the time we had to consider the share which has a strong probability to stand again in the market, and they have the potential to be strong in the market, because the momentum that we had shown during the pandemic time, we had seen a surge momentum in almost all kind of share. But now this is the time we have to be, it's a crucial time, we have to be more careful and have to look forward for those shares which have a good insight and they are fundamentally strong enough so that they can hold. So Infosys is one of them, and there are multi more are like we have IRCTC, we have Wipro, and TCS. These are the shares which can you can rely on them, and they will definitely give you good profit on upcoming time. And it's been a long time, like the last time we had received bonus in Infosys was in 2018, and now it's almost 3 years. So really soon we may see some news related to the bonus of Infosys, because prior to the 2018 the bonus was given in 2015. And when it comes to the history of bonus and dividend, Infosys is really good. On 26th of October, Infosys given a dividend of 15 rupees per share, which is almost 300% from its dividend percentage. So key factors, why do we need to consider Infosys right now? So first thing is that the share is not in overbought zone. There is no, second point is not listed in ASM or GSM list, and it is good time if you're looking for making any initial statement, initially starting with the Infosys, you can go ahead with them. Now let's talk about the key matrices. We can clearly notice that as per the sector, this almost reached to the sector ratio. So P ratio is now matching with the sector. So it may be possible that we may soon see a news related to the bonus. Yet we had received a good dividend. And forecast rating, if we talk about, definitely you can see that 88% of for analysts are bullish on this share. Another factor that we have to look on this financial trend, we can clearly notice the momentum. This is really good, and the overall profit, when it compares to the revenue, we can see a good momentum when we try to compare with the profit and revenue. So well, these are the factors that we had to look on and consider before making any purchase. And still, if you are looking for a strong portfolio, so you must have such these kind of shares. So if you are trying to do some sort of experiment with your portfolio, you can go ahead, you can buy on some share which have some high risk as well, but still you should have a share in your portfolio which can manage if there is any loss. So let's talk about the mutual fund holding, and I will show you some data related to its past performance. So let's look on the annual performance of this share. If we try to compare on quarterly basis, we can clearly notice that the momentum and the growth is significant, and this is the strong share. Like this share always gives this kind of momentum. So these are the factors that we have to consider. Like now you can clearly notice that the fundamental of this share is completely strong, and this is why we had to rely on this share. And let's have a look on the shareholding pattern of this share. We can clearly notice that total promoter holding is 13.12, and good news related to the total promoter holding is it been significantly increased when we try to compare with the last year's result. And overall FII 33.46%. This is the good news, cause not only the domestic people are looking for this, the foreign investors are also investing in this share, and this is why this share has a valuation and everyone is looking for this share. And about the total promoter holdings I was talking about, so in June 2020 this was 13.15. Now we had seen after this 2020 this total promoter holding is increased significantly 13.12%, which is a good sign for us. And the another data that we have to look is FII. So we can clearly notice that FII holdings are increasing on every quarter basis. Well, I have given you the overview on Infosys and how the future of Infosys looking, because the fundamental and the basic, if we talk about the past performance of this year, is always good, and the way these IT shares has performing during the pandemic, none of the industry has gained this much more. And on the upcoming time we will definitely see this kind of momentum, because the IT field has got a revolution during this pandemic time, and they emerge like most of the IT companies has this kind of performance during this the pandemic. So I hope you will understand why we had to consider the Infosys type of share, Infosys, Wipro, or IRCTC, or we have another share like Wipro. So these are the shares that we can rely on. Let's talk about our next share, which is IRFC, so which already given has a dividend of 0.77 rupees on 10th of November. So those who didn't receive it yet, no need to worry. You will have it within 15 days. There is not much to discuss about the IRFC, but this share is mid cap, risk profile is really low, and the factor why we had to consider the IRFC is this is not in any red flag like ASM or GSM list. And the another point, it's not in overbought zone. And this is, if you are looking for making any entry level, yes, you can go ahead, because this share hasn't been uh, old enough. And if we talk about the return performance, which is not really good, but this doesn't mean that the company is bad and there is something wrong with the company. There are some factors that's why this share is lacking, and no need to worry, this share will give you significant uh, benefit on upcoming time. And not like 100% or 150%, but this share will give you a profit of somewhere around 15 to 20% on upcoming time. This share was listed in January 2021, and till now this share is really fine. The highest reach to this share is 26 rupees 50 paise, and after that we had seen some momentum with this share, and where the share has a momentum of 25 rupees 90 paise, but later there was no momentum. But still no need to worry, because these are the shares which are fundamentally strong, and if they will not give you a huge profit, but definitely they will not give you any kind of loss on upcoming time. Talking about the performance, if within a month 3.8%, within a year minus 1.16%. The reason with 26.7 was the highest, and till now this share has recovered to 24 rupees 4 paise. So 40 paise. So this share was announced as an IPO with a price of 26 rupees, and later on this share reached a highest of 26 rupees 70 paise, but there was no momentum like that. But no need to worry, this share has yet to cover more. So why we need to consider this here? So there are multiple factors that we have to look on. If we're talking about the P sector of this ratio, the P ratio, as per the sector, it's still really cheap, and that's why 100% analysts are bullish on this share. If we're talking about the dividend, this share has already given two times dividend. One first time it was of 1 rupees 0.7 paise, and second time it was 0.77 paise. So anyhow this share is giving return. When it comes to dividend, this share is also providing the dividend, and on upcoming time I'm sure this year will definitely give you a good momentum. And the factor is financial trend. Like we had clearly noticed that from 2018 to 2021 the share has given a good returns when it comes to its financial. They have financially grown good, and profit and revenue comparison, if you see from 2018 to 2021, it was increasing on every year. So these are the factors that we have to look on